We at Shiftconnector have been talking to a lot of our customers and getting feedback from them on how they're using Shiftconnector to enable things like remote work and social distancing. Now, with that in mind, we've invited two panel speakers to speak with us today, Andy Brazier and Andreas Eschbach. Andy's a risk consultant, and he specializes in human factors and process safety. He also has a PhD in chemical engineering and has done a lot of work since 1996 with folks in the industry. Andreas is the founder and CEO of Eschbach, and that's the software company behind Shiftconnector. Mathias is a manufacturing engineer. He's also working from his home office, like the rest of us, with the healthcare giant Roche.
We are at Kazaux, we are producing cancer medicine. It is very, very vital to all of those people who are already suffering from heart diseases like cancer. And even in that times, we know that every hospital has a lot more work to do right now. And it would be horrible if we have to close down because of the virus, because a lot of lives depends on this. So for us, it is a very important thing to keep running. With the Shiftconnector, we have a very powerful tool at hand, which was very vital to provide all the information through all departments and through all those shifts. And this gave us the confidence of saying, okay, we don't need to panic or something. We have all the information checked in one place. We see what's going on. We don't have to think about, oh my God, does we really have to write that down, or is it written down? We see easily if there's something wrong. We see easily if there was a communication error, because when you see certain people are not writing something in, then you can call and can just, even from home, I can just see, okay, everybody's there. So the people feel more confident with this crisis. They feel more comfortable during this crisis. Multiple different kinds of platforms and applications which we used, which makes it much harder to gather all this information. And right now with Shiftconnector, it's much easier.
But we need to recognise, though, that problems do occur, and I think with social distancing, there's a real danger that they are going to occur more often. Now, I think probably in the first, we had this change come along very rapidly. You've had to implement social distancing very quickly. And hopefully you haven't had any major problems yet, because, we will, for the next first couple of weeks, we will get by, we will manage. It's recognising, though, that we're in this for quite a long time and starting to recognise actually there are risks and we need to be managing them. The key point is the layers of protection we normally rely on aren't going to be as reliable as they normally are. And we've got to be very well aware that these layers of protection that we normally rely on aren't going to be as good as they usually are. We will have stopped all sorts of unnecessary visits to control rooms, to plant areas, to offices. We have people working from home. And almost inevitably, if we haven't got it now, we will have problems with staffing. And this isn't going to be for the next week or two. This could be months to come. This is our new normal for us, as long as we can see. These engineers have been moved to a remote location. Those informal sort of communication situations weren't happening anymore. And over time, the whole thing broke down. Operators were operating a plant in one way. The engineers had a different view of what was happening, and they didn't discuss it. So, this is the example. I say it didn't happen overnight, and you won't have issues immediately. Well, we hope you don't. But let's face it, over the next few months, working from home is something that's probably going to be happening a lot, and we need to recognise that. Okay, in this case, this was a major safety implication to people on the site. 2 people died. Let's remember that. But also, it meant a vital utility was stopped as well. We still have to keep this virus under control as best we can. We need to stop it spreading, but we need to make sure we don't take our eye off the ball where safety's concerned as well. So we need to understand, I think what you need to be doing is understanding what you've already done, what changes have you made. You aren't doing business as you normally do, and you need to say, how can you carry on doing your business safely from now on? So being very clear about roles and responsibilities. And I think we do have to also be aware of the mental health, well-being issues as well. People who are used to working in a busy, lively office are now sat at home in their spare room. I think we do need to, again, that's not going to happen immediately, but over time we're going to have to worry about those sorts of issues as well. And we probably are going to have reduced staffing levels. So the day workers, the managers, the engineers, a lot of them won't be on site anyway. So that's straight away a reduced resource. You need to be far more agile. You need to be more dynamic about how you're handling the situation.
It will result in a higher business resilience, also for the future. So the activities done right will be beneficial for the future of your manufacturing plants out there. The outgoing team writes down everything, leaves the control room. Before the incoming shift teams enter the room, they don't physically see each other. So they don't see each other in the control room, not in the corridor, and not in the dressing room, never. But the second step now is a new addition. They need to talk. They need to talk either via a phone, like shown here on the left side, this guy with this tablet, or via video conferencing solution. They need to have the document and the audio in parallel. You have a lot of data in the DCS, in the process historian, all that are full of data. But what they all miss is simply a communication across the people, the thought process. And even it's not bad to make an assumption. The important thing is to mention that it was an assumption on where it was based on. And how we have to align our way of working and communicating at the moment, that will also be helpful for your future. This approach, which we developed in the last 15 years, ensures more transparency and more visibility. And that's exactly what we are lacking now in the times of social distancing. We need more of those transparency. So with this approach, you start also that you're getting a knowledge organization.
A lot of things we've talked about today, we're talking about it because we've got this crisis, but actually we really only a lot of it we're talking about is good practice anyway. If you can get this right now, if you can improve your resilience, it will make you stronger in the future. You will always have minor crises, local crises that you have to deal with. This one's just different because it's affecting everybody at the same time. But the things we talked about will make you stronger for the future. So I say, like to finish with a glimmer of positivity.